That's nothing to tell, that won't do of course, just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse. That can't be my story, that's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling that cart. And that is a story that no one can beat, when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Oh, hello there. I was just catching up on my Theodore Giesel in preparation for today's episode, in which I will pay tribute to one of the most imaginative and creative artists of picture books, Dr. Seuss. Why have his works appealed to so many people, and why are they that good? Well, let's dig in. His first book was "To Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street," about a young boy who imagines his walk home from school, which became a trademark of Giesel's work, which typically surrounded imaginative child characters. And already, he produced something special with the creative, clever writing and his incredible drawings. While the Second World War raged on, Theodore Giesel started working on animated shorts and documentaries for the Army, though a couple of these are unfortunately vaulted or lost. Nonetheless, he still worked on writing picture books.
Very well. That you insist, I'll stay and be faithful. I mean what I say.
Toodaloo!
Sang out Maisie and fluttered away.
In 1940, he introduced one of his most endearing and his most likable character, Horton the Elephant, in Horton Hatches the Egg, in which our friend does a lazy bird a favor by sitting on her egg, and the result is very humorous as all sorts of shenanigans happen. And shortly after its publication, it was turned into an animated short by Bob Clampett, which wasn't afraid of going to some darker humor.
Well, now I've seen everything.
Rolling and tossing and splashed with a spray. But Horton said day after day after day,
I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. But I am seasick 100%.
In the early 1950s, he got involved with a couple more Hollywood productions. The most well-known of these was the classic animated short Gerald mcboing-boing, about a young boy who could only speak in sound effects. This effectively brought Giesel's sense of humor to screen, and the result was even honored with an Academy Award for Best Short Subject.
Instead. What's that? Cried his father, his face turning gray. That's a very odd thing for a young boy to say.
He also was responsible for the fantasy adventure The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T, and while the film wasn't particularly successful, nor did Seuss particularly like it, it has now gained a more appreciative audience. Horton reappeared again in the post-war book Horton Hears, which proved to be even more popular than its predecessor. A commentary on the American occupation of Japan, this book was involving and funny, and Horton was even more likable than before, as we really root for him to save the citizens of Whoville sitting on the clover. With its moral of a person's a person no matter how small, it really is an inspirational book for anyone to show that even the smallest person can make a difference. Unfortunately, the book has become thought of as being a pro-life statement, but Seuss himself disliked this interpretation, saying that abortion was not even close to being on his mind when writing it. Seuss would later push his inventiveness to the next level by creating more letters in the alphabet in Omnion Zebra, which was definitely one of my favorite of his. My alphabet starts with this letter called Yuz. It's a letter I use to spell Yuzamatuz. You'd be sort of surprised what there is to be found once you go beyond Z and start poking around. So on beyond Zebra, explore like Columbus, discover new letters like Wumbus for Wumbus. My high-spouting whale lives high on a hill, and who never comes down till it's time to refill. So on beyond Z, it's high time you were shown that you really don't know all there is to be known.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus, you're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
Seuss's biggest streak was from 1957 to 1961, when he published his best and most well-known books. How the Grinch Stole Christmas has pretty much become a classic on the pages and on the television set. The story of a grouchy mountain dweller who despises the Christmas season and seeks to take it from the Who's down in Whoville. This was an hilarious book with a villain who has become just as iconic for the holiday as Rudolph and Frosty are. But the Grinch is the first thing that comes to mind. The book was not only filled with great pieces of poetry, it also served as a commentary on the commercialism of the holiday season. And though Christmas is in the title, the message is universal enough that anybody can appreciate it. In 1966, it was also turned into an animated special by legendary animator Chuck Jones, with narration by Boris Karloff. The result was a short that perfectly captured the feel of the book, and for me, it's definitely the best television special ever done. And it's that rare holiday special I have to watch every year simply because it just never gets old.